Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. I'm here to talk about commanding your attack surface because due to the development of AI, our attack surface has become more exposed. Okay, so a lot of technologies has evolved. Okay, so because of that, it's become more complex. So because of the complexity, our security teams needs to ask these questions every day. Do I understand the attackers? That's number one. So am I exposed and what are exploitable? Okay. Another is what techniques and attack path are relevant and how do I protect my organization? But because of the globalization, not our just organization, but also our partners. Using AI, we can answer these questions to understand our attack surface and attack path. So how quickly will we become aware of any vulnerabilities present in our network? Are there no unknown vulnerabilities or active exploits against this exposure? Because things right now, so we should not just focus on vulnerabilities. We should also focus on how exploitable it is. Okay. Next one is, can these vectors lead to a compromise of my internal system? And how effective are your controls in preventing this compromise? So yeah, so these are the things that we should continuously ask in terms of our attack surface. So fun fact about the Philippines, so 61 of the attacks in the Philippines are more focused on the government agencies. Okay. Then in terms of a global competitive index, our ranking is the 61 out of 194 and 325% increase in attack in the first 3 months of this year. Okay. Most of those attacks are still revolved on the malware and malicious codes. And our Philippine NCERT is combating 3,470 incidents since the start of this year. So 1.5 million Filipinos are employed in the IT BPM sector. So yeah, so what's surprising here is that the 61%. Throughout the whole world, we are the only one that has the highest attack in our government agency. So the partnership between the private sector and the government sector is a really great venue. Okay, so top ransomware groups in the Philippines that are present are these three: Lockbit, CIOP, Alpha, and IK Black Cat. This is a very interesting slide. So this has been the breakdown of cyber attacks throughout the world. So as you can see, in 2019, ransomware was way down by 7%. But during 2020, the start of the COVID-19, the attacks went up to 16, then 24, 30, then 29. In terms of compromised credential, once it hits 2020, it stagnates and now at 2023. So as you can see, these three attacks are there because of the development of AI. So for example, ransomware. Attackers can easily scan your network for any vulnerabilities wherein they can implant their ransomware, compromise or stolen credentials. So it would be easier to steal, spoof any credentials. Then phishing, through email phishing, it's easier for them to blast those phishing campaigns. Okay, so in terms of the worldwide attack coverage, so number one, healthcare has since been number one. So reason is the data that they store in their environment. With number two being the finance and the insurance cluster. Okay, these three, because of the data, the importance of the data that they store. So how did we get this data? So we are using this intelligence solution that we have. So number one is our Metasploit, which is our pen testing tool. Then the Project Sonar and the Project Heisenberg. Project Sonar is our vulnerability internet-wide scan. And Project Heisenberg is our global honeypot. So that's the current situation of the world in terms of cybersecurity. So how do we combat it? So how do we take command of that attack surface? So let's move on to detection and response. Okay, so 16% of executives says that their companies, only 16% throughout the world say that their companies are prepared to deal with any cyber risk. Okay, 54 of executives states that reports are too technical. Okay. Then lastly, I know everyone knows about this, that 89% of security professionals and organizations says that the hardest thing is recruiting new cybersecurity professionals. So to take back control of your attack surface, you must employ three things. Before the attack, visibility is a must. So you must be visible, again, on your attack surface, any exploitable vulnerabilities that you have. Then next is assessment and a proactive. Be proactive in your defense. Then in case that there's attack, you must be very fast in removing noise to identify the real threats as quickly as possible to contain and eliminate it. Then after, you must completely eradicate any artifacts in your network so that it will not resurface again. So employ a layered context approach. So for example, how does Rapid7 do it? So we get the latest CVSS, apply our AI-based intelligence. So that's how we get our active vulnerability score. So it depends. So yeah. So we must know how exploitable is that vulnerability. So that's the key takeaway. Then visual the path for lateral movement and attack path analysis. So how do we do it? So we must employ a 360 to 24/7 detection. So we must cover both the macro environment and also the operating environment. For the macro environment, always have a proactive plan to thwart any attack. So how do we do this? So anticipate target threats against our organization early in the attack chain. Next is minimize exposure time with expert takedowns. Then protect your company, employees, and brand across the clear, deep, and the dark web. So these solutions can cover your macro environment. And in terms of operating environment, so number one is employ a 24/7 follow the sun monitoring. Next is a high fidelity XDR that alerts both, not just the endpoint, but also the cloud infrastructure. Then unlimited DFIR to deliver an end-to-end result. To end this session, I want to leave you some resolution that we wish that you will make for the second half of 2024. So first one is implement an MFA. Okay? Because we noticed that we are so focused on the possible, that what might be, rather than perfecting our basics. Because last 2023, most of that attack was still targeting the MFA, poor MFA deployment. So it's better to lay down the basics than focus on the advanced ones. Because for 2023, 2024, we still predict that you are most likely to be attacked due to a poor deployed MFA rather than as advanced AI attack. Next is learn from what the transfer vendors did right. What did they right is because fast disclosure of vulnerabilities, fast acting, patch management cycle. Okay, so that's what they do. Okay, get a grip on your data. So in terms in cybersecurity, more data is not the right way. For data, you must have a contextualized data, enriched data. Okay, so contextualize your data because cybersecurity experts, our security team will get tired if you got bombarded with tons of data. Okay, then lastly is take some time to decompress. Okay, according to Gartner, by 2025, 25% of our cybersecurity experts will probably transfer to a different field. The reason is work-related stress. So decompress, okay, relax, and enjoy life. Ayun, thank you.
Hey, is this you? Too many alerts, way too many tools, not enough people, not enough hours in the day? Let's fast forward. Look at you now. You have a complete end-to-end detection and response program, meaning every incident gets handled no matter what. Round-the-clock eyes on your environment. Every alert is analyzed and contextualized by holistic XDR technology with unparalleled threat intelligence, then validated and investigated by a fully vetted security operations center. So now you've got a happy board. You've got full confidence in your program. and you finally have time to take that trip to the mountains, the beach, wherever. Rapid7 Managed Detection and Response gives you a 24/7, 365 SOC with the world's most elite security intelligence experts, just like that. Fully integrated digital forensics and incident response without limits, just like that. And transparency into our technology and investigations. You see what we see anytime. And best of all, you didn't have to hire a single person. Go to lunch, man. With Rapid7 MDR, everybody gets time for lunch.